All right, what's up, guys? It's Peter Voogd, and welcome to the YEL 2.0 podcast, where we help you live a life and a business on your terms. And as you guys know, I don't have a lot of guests because we're extremely selective to make sure we find real game changers that are not just making an impact in their industry, but in the world, and people that I have massive respect for. So I'm excited for today's guests, and we're going to dive into a couple different topics that I feel are very needed. And I want to welcome Chase Minnifield. He's a former defensive back for the Washington Redskins and a serial entrepreneur who was recently inducted into the 2019 class of Forbes 30 under 30, which is extremely hard to get into. So just right there, you know he's the real deal. He currently serves as CEO of EasyTurn, the only vendor management digital platform that enables property managers in the student housing business to more effectively manage, invoice, and communicate with contractors. And already in the first year, they've created over $1 million in invoices. So Chase, thanks for coming on, man. I'm excited to dive in and kind of learn more about you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you having me on here, Peter.
So you're a unique situation. I really want to figure out the turning points because I've been infatuated with studying elite performers, NFL athletes, entertainers, entrepreneurs who are at the peak of their industry. Anyone that can get into the NFL, obviously you're already in the top 1%. And I've been doing a lot of research financially for different types of industries, and a lot of NFL players within 2 to 3 years, I think it's 70-something%, go broke and lose everything within a couple of years. You are going the opposite direction. Not only are you becoming financially free and staying that way, but you're giving back and helping people so they don't make the same mistakes. Where's that come from? Like, you're unique, man. Where is the breaking point and turning point when you realized I got to be different here? I can't do what everyone else does. Do you remember when that was?
Well, let's say I could easily be one of those statistics as well. The NFL doesn't tell the story of like the NFL has 50 plus people on the roster. It doesn't tell the story of the people fighting on the bottom of the roster that end up going on and off, practice squad, cut here, go to another team, and all these different types of stories, because that guy is the person that is really in the worst situation once they can't get another job. They haven't been able to stack that much money. They are always constantly looking for a call, because that's been a constant, consistent thing there, is that they're going to call me again. They're going to call me again. And they don't get a call, and therefore they look in their bank account, nothing's there. So the waffling in between, do I want to keep playing or do I want to do something else? Is this who I am, or can I be somebody else? My turning point was the fact of I went a year and didn't get a call, expecting a call. Literally expecting, like, okay, I'm good, I'm better than him, I'm better than him, I'm better than him. Surely I'm going to get a call. But I realized it wasn't my decision. And it took me a long time to realize it wasn't my decision. And then I thought back on myself, and I was like, you didn't go to the University of Virginia just because you're a top-notch athlete. You went to the University of Virginia to be something more than an athlete. And let's not be disrespectful to your parents, to God, to all these people that you can only do one thing, to think you're only valuable in one space. Once I came to that conclusion and realized, like I'm looking really pathetic right now, thinking I just got to do one thing, I really turned my gears, and everything that turned me into a great football player was able to turn me into a great entrepreneur.
So when was that turning point? You finally realized, like, I'm not just an athlete, I'm more than that. I need to do something that allows me to have financial freedom when the check stops. So was that a combination of being around the right people? Was it a problem that you saw needed to be solved? I'm sure it wasn't easy right when you had the aha moment, but take me back through the thought process, because a lot of people in your situation, they would think about starting a business. They would think about protecting their future and giving back, but that's kind of where they stop. They have all these excuses and they end up doing what's normal and what they've been doing. You took a different direction. So I really want to get into the mind of what was the next step once you realized you had to make it work without football.
One thing I can always do is trust myself. I can trust myself. Like, I don't need nobody to tell me to go do something. I don't need nobody to tell me to go work out. Like, I'm what I call a self-starter. So I knew I can trust myself. So when I really sat down and came up with my business plan, it was initially to fill a purpose and a need and to provide opportunities for some friends and family in the area. But I knew that, hey, Chase, if you can sit down and you can give an 8-hour day minimum at your dream and goal and whatever business you want to create, then you can't do nothing but then depend on yourself. if I can leave it up to me, then I should be able to accomplish it. And that's how football was. That's how sports was. And that's what it turned out entrepreneurship has been for me, is being able to trust myself and show up for myself.
So talk more about Easy Turn. Tell me the where that came about and kind of the details and what that does for consumers, for customers, for audiences.
So yeah, Easy Turn, man, is an extremely exciting platform. It allows me to be creative. It allows me to solve problems on a day-to-day basis. It's a vendor management software system that is growing immensely right now in the student housing space. We have 5x over a 1 year period. So it's been really crazy. It's essentially born out of my frustrations with my first company called Helping Hands, which was a service providing company, and how they were operating, managing their communication and their vendors and their schedules. So after doing that for multiple years, you know how everybody has that thing like, man, this should be easier. I had that same conversation 3 years in a row. Like, this should be easier. This is way too hard. They're making this way too hard. And essentially, I just decided to act on it. I said, all right, this year, I'm not going to say this again in 2019 or 2018, 2017. I'm making a change this year. I'm going to take this chance. I'm going to take this opportunity. And I'm going to really, really fill what I think is a need in a service with Easy Turn. So Easy Turn is essentially a student housing platform, a software that allows for them to better manage and officially manage their vendors that come on their property.
So give me the breakthroughs when you said you've been doing the same thing for 3 years, and you're kind of like, you said enough is enough. Usually people have that back against the wall where it's like, I'm not going another year doing it this difficult. So do you remember the breakthroughs? Was it hiring the right people? Was it getting a CFO? Was it the mentors? What was it that kind of shifted? Because people start a lot of businesses and they fail.
So probably my first I had to convince my business partner to come on board. My idea, I drawn up all these different things, but it's still just my idea. You think it's a good idea. Nobody else thinks it's a good idea. That's a common story, right? So my business partner, who then decided to quit his job and come work on this full time, I'm like, all right, yeah, we got something here, right? So he was our ideal customer. So essentially his background was in student housing as a property manager and things like that. So I said, hey, if you think this is a great idea, I know that this is going to be value amongst your peers. So essentially that was my first original breakthrough that, hey, I'm not wasting my money.
So selling the vision to the right people was a big one.
Yeah, selling the vision, man. So I think a great CEO has to be able to sell. You have to be able to convince people to work for less money than they're worth or work for free. That's one of the value of a great CEO, is that he uplifts. He uplifts people. He puts confidence in people. He puts confidence in the team, and he keeps the boat going. He keeps the boat afloat, getting to the goal. And I think that's my strongest quality, is the fact that I'm going to be able to empower and to bring confidence to the table anytime there's a situation.
I've been checking out a lot of your stuff, and a lot of your message that I think needs to be addressed because people don't understand the importance. And it's so simple, but simplicity is power. You just say, keep going, like keep pushing, keep going. It sounds simple, but talk about what that mantra has meant to you in the last 20 plus years of your life.
Man, keep going is life in general. I think that probably the most important thing about me is my perseverance. If you follow me, then you know that I've been hurt, down, out many a times. So as an athlete, your legs, your knees are your life. So I've torn my ACL multiple times, tore my Achilles, had meniscus repairs and all these different types of surgeries that have basically taken me to zero. So another great quality of mine is the fact of I'm not scared to go to zero. I'm not scared to go to zero. Like that's one of my qualities that makes me a tremendous risk taker, is the fact that I've been at zero. I felt at zero, and I fought back up to where I need to be at multiple times. So I think it's very important that the keep going mindset, the next step mindset, is an extremely valuable trait.
Even when it's extremely tough, even when your back's against the wall, even when people doubt you, it's still push forward. I love that. What are some things that people don't know about you? Like looking from the outside, checking out your social media, reading your articles that are written about you in Forbes, watching this podcast. People watch you all the time. They see you on the come up, and I'm excited to see your journey too the next 5 or 10 years. But what are some things people don't know about you if maybe they haven't studied you your whole life or really have dig deep into your past?
Well, probably the one thing that people don't just doesn't come to light, but you might think it, is that I'm super competitive in any form or fashion. Right now I can't play football, I can't play basketball. I mean, I wish I could, but it's just not worth my risk to my injury ratio. It's not worth my time. So I play golf. I play golf a lot. That's probably my favorite downtime, and it gets me away. So anytime that you're a CEO and you have a lot of people that might be in your ear, a lot of emails, it's okay to take that quiet time. And, I like to go to the golf course, and I like to leave my phones at home. And I like to just enjoy myself in quiet and thought process. And, my next great or your next great idea may come when you're just in peace and quiet.
You better not get hurt playing golf.
Yeah, I hope not.
It wouldn't be funny, but it would be ironic. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to talk about the tactics and mindset. We have a lot of young listeners that are trying to reach the next level, whether it's in sports, entertainment, athletics, entrepreneurship. They're just trying to get to the next level. Thinking back to getting to college, scholarship, and then going to NFL, both things are in the top 2 percentile. What are some tactics, some preparation things that you've done, or skills that you've learned that translated into entrepreneurship from your athletic career? Can you think of the same skills?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's almost a mirror image.
Wow.
To be honest with you. So character, and I could define character as doing things when nobody else is looking. Having that trait is an extremely important trait. If I got to tell you to go do it, then it's probably not going to happen for you. So I think that's the first thing that's most important. Discipline, being able to show up on time, not be late for meetings. Anybody that's on my teams that works for me knows that I'm a very big stickler for being on time. I don't think that comes with any on time. Being raised in the football environment, my coach always told me, 5 minutes early is on time. What on time is late. So that kind of discipline is very important for me. And then probably the last thing I would talk about is resilience. Is the fact of have a mindset of a speed bump mindset. The speed bump mindset is the fact of, it's going to be a bump in the road. It's going to be a bump in the road. And the fact of I want to hit this bump as fast as I can and not let this bump slow me down or push me back is the mindset that I like to encourage people to have and to think about, is the fact of, this bump's going to come, but I'm going to hit it full speed. And we all might be up in the air when I hit this speed bump, but essentially we're going to keep going on to the next thing.
So when you didn't get called, I don't know if you in the moment had regret and frustration, and how'd you turn that into opportunity? Because I think a lot of people these days, Chase, play victim, where if they have a career or if something happens to them that they have their identity wrapped in, they feel like it's over and they can't move on. It's hard for them to be resourceful. So did you have the regret and turn that into opportunity? Or did you, right when they didn't call you and you weren't going to go back to NFL, were you like, oh, well, I'll figure out what's next? I don't know your personality, because we just obviously met, but I want to kind of extract that past experience to give value to our listeners. So you have regret?
Oh, yeah. I not regret, because I know I worked my tail off, but frustration built up. The politics built up. Everything that felt like it wasn't in your control built up. And, the one thing that I like to live back is that when life bucks, you buck back. And that's one of the things that I think is extremely important. I'll never be the guy to sit down. I'll be the guy that you'll hear from later. So, essentially, I had all the feelings that everybody else would have. I had the quiet nights. I had the tears. I had the why me thought process. Why is this going on? Well, I've done everything to be successful. I've had all those thought processes. But essentially, it's the decision, the line in the sand day, where you say, all right, starting today, we're moving on to the next. And whatever's my next is going to be my best. So that's extremely important.
That's so huge. So what do you tell someone that still is in the why me mentality, and it's been longer than it should be, and they haven't drawn the line in the sand? What do you tell that person that still has the why me?
Get around people that motivate you. Get around people that are not sitting around doing nothing, that are encouraging the negative behavior. Get around people that can uplift you. Get around people that are doing great things. You got to find that motivation. You got to find visualization or readings or podcasts or YouTubes, or listen to Peter and find the people that are motivated and making change and be like, yo, this is me. This is me. Because at the end of the day, we're all going through similar situations in different ways. And we're all pushing through. So, we're here to help each other in some form or fashion.
Love it, man. So what do you tell, let's say you're in a stadium, it's just you, and there's 100,000 young athletes, young entrepreneurs that look up to you, respect you. They really want to reach greatness. They want to make a difference, but they maybe don't have the guidance. Maybe they have the rough past. Maybe they haven't had a strong upbringing. What do you tell that crowd if you had to just give them one message? And maybe it's even talking to your 17, 18-year-old self. What's that message they can take with them from all your wisdom and experience that you feel like could help them get through the tough times and reach greatness?
I'll tell them two things. Don't pigeonhole yourself. Don't think that this is the only way or the only thing I can do. And the second thing I would tell them is to fail fast. It's to fail fast, meaning the fact of, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm wrong, I'm going to grow. So just understanding that, we're not going to have the answers. We're not going to know it right. When I was getting into technology, I didn't have no experience in technology. I had no experience in the tech space. I'm just hitting it. I'm just hitting it and seeing what happens. So fail fast. And as we fail, we learn. And then we start to mold. And then we start to understand, this is the right way to do this. This is the right way to do this. Oh, this is the price point for here. And we end up growing. And then next thing you know, you look back at your path and your progress, and you don't even understand how you got to this point. So fail fast.
And where can everyone find you at? I know you're big on, you're consistent on Instagram. Are you on every platform? What's kind of your main focus?
Every platform, man. Every platform. Chase Minnifield. Every platform across the board. I love to hear feedback from everyone. So I love to hear everyone else's stories as well. So reach out to me.
I appreciate it, man. Anything else on your mind? Anything else that's been kind of weighing heavy on you? Anything that's recently inspired you? Anything else you want to share before we let you go?
Yeah, I got one thing to share before I get over here. And that is, don't be afraid. Fear is causing us to lack imagination. And I think that's the hugest issue that we can discuss right now, is that the people that are scared to jump have to eventually get pushed. But the people that run from behind them and jump are usually the ones that end up with all the successes that was meant for yourself. So go jump. Don't be scared. Man, life is great.
I love it, man. Well, I appreciate you for being the select few, for being the person that goes against the grain to not just build their future, but to build the future of many, many young entrepreneurs and people that can also make a difference in the world, man. Much respect to you for being not just an amazing athlete, an amazing entrepreneur, but a world-class human being first. I appreciate you, man. I'm looking forward to building our relationship, see how I can help you, and I'm excited to get this out there.
Definitely, Peter. Appreciate it, man.
All right, talk to you soon. Hey, what's up? And thank you for watching this video. If you enjoy this video and this content, make sure you hit the subscribe button below, put the notifications on, and I assure you, you'll love this content in these videos.